Welcome back, Heartland fans. Did you see that? Tai enters just as Amy and Nathan are in a deep, serious discussion. What on earth was that about? Heartland enthusiasts, we have to discuss this trailer. So things are definitely escalating, and it appears some significant emotional turmoil is on the horizon. But what implications does this hold for Amy, Tai, and Nathan? Is this the instant that redefines everything? Let's explore and dissect every detail. As the trailer kicks off, we're thrust directly into the emotional core of the situation. Amy and Nathan, standing quite near one another, seem engrossed in a heavy conversation, but there's an undeniable gravity in the air. Something seems amiss. Is it just my perception, or does their interaction suggest a bond that's unusually profound, even if not overtly romantic? Amy's face, her expressions convey a narrative of shock and perhaps a dawning, difficult understanding. And then bam, Tai makes his entrance. He steps into the scene and the entire atmosphere shifts. For those of us who followed Heartland from its inception, we know the path of Tai and Amy's relationship has been far from smooth. They've confronted numerous hurdles, from their initial relationship growing pains to Tai's own past struggles. And now this, Tai walking in on Amy with another man, particularly Nathan, in what appears to be a moment of shared crisis or confidence, is more than a simple misunderstanding. It's a potential flashpoint in their relationship. We've all witnessed the connection between Amy and Tai strengthen through the years. But let's be honest, they've weathered some incredibly challenging periods. And Nathan, he's been a consistent figure in Amy's life, but only more recently has his presence seemed to carry more weight, perhaps as a confidant. This is the kind of event that could fundamentally alter the dynamics among all three individuals. It's not merely about Ty's immediate reaction to seeing Amy in an intense moment with Nathan. It's about the chain of events that will follow. What races through Ty's mind as he walks in? Is it anger, pain, bewilderment? And how will Amy respond? Is she feeling caught, or is this indicative of something more complex unfolding? Nathan naturally is positioned right in the center of this. We haven't observed much of his emotional state in this particular scene yet, but you can sense his awareness of the sudden shift in tension. He's standing there, almost as if bracing for an inevitable impact. This moment feels like it could be the trigger for an entirely new phase in their lives. But we must remember that Heartland is a series about resilience, about family ties, and the difficult choices life forces upon us. Will Amy and Tai manage to navigate this? Or is this the kind of dramatic event that could lead to a separation they can't come back from? In this initial segment, it's evident we're venturing into unexplored territory. The trailer masterfully sets up a perfect tempest of emotions and potential consequences. The pressing question is, how will these characters cope with it? Heartland fans are undoubtedly going to be riveted to their screens to see the outcome. The atmosphere is almost unbearably charged in that opening trailer scene. Amy and Nathan position closely, their hushed, serious words slicing through the quiet. Something significant is clearly unfolding between them, but Amy's eyes, there's a rawness, a vulnerability in them we haven't witnessed for some time. It's as if she's caught between a rock and a hard place, uncertain of her next move. And then Tai appears. Now let's consider Tai for a moment. Ty Borden, the man we've watched evolve, battle his past, and strive for everything he holds dear, walks into a situation where the foundations of his relationship with Amy could be rocked in an instant. Ty has consistently been Amy's steadfast support through every trial. But this moment, this isn't just a simple miscommunication. This is more profound. His entire world is being put to the test. His love for Amy, his faith in her, it's all thrown into uncertainty. What intensifies this moment is the expression on Ty's face. It's not merely shock, it's profound hurt. You can see it etched in his eyes. Ty has always been a composed, steady individual, but now he's exposed and vulnerable. This is the man who has fought for his family, for Amy, for their shared love, and now everything seems to be unraveling before his very eyes. That kind of pain cuts deep. He's not just interrupting a casual chat at the. He's walking in on what could be perceived as a deep emotional betrayal or a secret being shared. It's as if the ground has vanished from under him and suddenly nothing feels secure anymore. But what about Amy? How is she experiencing this moment? Amy Fleming, the resilient, self reliant woman we've admired, is suddenly ensnared between the love of her life and a man who has become a close confidant. Does she feel trapped? Is she taken aback by Ty's appearance? Or has she, on some level, been anticipating a confrontation or a complication? Ainsley, you can discern from her hesitation that her heart is conflicted, and that's the core of it. Amy consistently endeavors to do what's right, but sometimes doing the right thing involves confronting painful realities. Is she prepared to face that now? Then there's Nathan. He's also present right in the thick of it all. Nathan has always been a dependable presence in Amy's life, but this instance feels distinct. Is he cognizant of the gravity of what's transpiring? He seems to maintain his composure when Tai enters, but there's something about his stance that makes you ponder. Is he an unwitting part of the problem, or is he merely another component in this intricate puzzle? It's no longer just about Tai and Amy. It's Nathan's involvement in this entire situation that we need to decipher. This scene isn't solely about Ty's entrance. It's about the potential unraveling of everything the characters believe to be true. And at the heart of this drama, we're left to ask one straightforward question. How will they all find a way to move on from this? Because regardless of what occurs next, nothing will remain the same. The moment Ty stumbles upon Amy and Nathan, the collective breath of Heartland fans seems to catch. For years, we've watched Ty and Amy battle for their love, confronting trials that repeatedly tested their bond. But this feels different. This feels like the ultimate trial, the one that could seal the fate of their relationship. Can Amy and Ty recover from this? Or is this the breaking point we've all been fearing? When you consider all they've weathered, it's clear that Ty and Amy's love story has been anything but simple. From their first meeting, there was an undeniable chemistry. Yes, but also a continuous series of struggles. They've navigated past traumas, the demands of family, the fluctuations of their careers, and the unending complications that life presents. Ty has had his own inner demons to confront, and Amy's path of healing and self-discovery hasn't been linear either. Through it all, however, they've invariably seemed to find their way back to one another. But now, with this perceived breach of trust, or at least a deeply unsettling situation, everything seems to be at stake. What's compelling about this scene is that Ty doesn't just walk in on a minor disagreement. He walks in on a moment that could deeply erode his trust in Amy, a foundation so crucial that it might not be easily restored. When T sees Amy and Nathan in such an intense private exchange, his heart must feel shattered. He's not just seeing his wife with another man in a compromising light, he's confronting the possibility of a future where he might not be central to her world. This is the kind of event that compels individuals to reevaluate everything they've constructed. Can trust be rebuilt after something of this magnitude? Or will this be the wedge that ultimately forces them apart? Amy, conversely, is caught in a maelstrom of emotions. She's the one in the middle of it all, attempting to reconcile her past, her present, and the precarious future she faces. Nathan has consistently been a supportive friend, but that doesn't necessarily mean she's developing romantic feelings for him. Does she view this moment with Nathan as seeking comfort during a crisis? Or is it something far more intricate? And then there's Ty, her anchor, her partner, the father of her child. Seeing Ty walk in, witnessing the pain in his eyes, must feel like a devastating blow. But can she adequately explain the situation, or has the damage already been inflicted? The more I reflect on it, the more I wonder. Is this a definitive turning point for Amy and Ty's relationship, or is it merely another significant obstacle in their path? It feels like it could be either, but the crucial question is, what will it take for Amy and Ty to heal from this apparent rift? Heartland has always centered on overcoming adversity, on family unity in the face of any challenge. But this feels like an almost insurmountable peak. In these kinds of circumstances, individuals often have to make difficult choices. Amy and Ty's love story has always been characterized by second chances, but will a third chance be possible here? Will Amy be able to fight for her marriage with Ty? Or has Nathan, however unintentionally, become too significant a presence, a complication in her emotional landscape that she cannot disregard? I suppose we'll have to await the unfolding events, but I'm certainly not prepared to lose faith in Ty and Amy just yet. Are you? Nathan's role, a catalyst for change or simply an observer? Now, let's turn our attention to Nathan. Throughout the trailer, he's this persistent presence, often in the periphery. But his role in all of this, especially in this pivotal moment with Amy, generates more questions than it answers. Is Nathan merely an observer caught in the emotional crossfire between Tai and Amy? Or is he a catalyst for something far more substantial? Is he inadvertently creating a divide between them? Or does he play a more integral part in their narrative than we're initially led to believe? Nathan has always been somewhat of a puzzle. On one hand, he's been a reliable source of support for Amy, particularly when she's grappled with the weight of her family's issues. He's empathetic, understanding, and often appears to know how to put her at ease. But in this scene, we observe a facet of Nathan that's different, a facet that's difficult to overlook. He's standing there, almost motionless, while Amy and Ty's entire relationship seems to teeter on the brink. What thoughts are crossing his mind? Is he aware of the full implications of this situation? This is where it becomes complex. Nathan isn't just a peripheral character. He's always shared a unique connection with Amy, one that, while never explicitly crossing into romance, has bordered on deep emotional intimacy. And now, in this moment, it feels as though he might be venturing into new territory, perhaps by being the bearer of difficult news or a shared burden. But is he aware that his closeness to Amy, whatever its nature, is jeopardizing everything? Or is he simply oblivious to the turmoil he's about to intensify? There's an undeniable connection between them, a deep understanding, and whether or not he acknowledges its potential interpretation, it exists. That kind of bond doesn't simply vanish, regardless of how much one might try to deny or downplay it. But the fundamental question is, does Nathan intend to be the person who causes a rift between Ty and Amy? I'm not entirely convinced. From what we've observed, Nathan's role in the show has consistently been about offering support to Amy when she needs it. But his relationship with her has never overtly seemed to veer into romantic territory until this trailer raises new questions. Perhaps this trailer highlights that Nathan is evolving beyond just a friend. His place in Amy's life is transforming into something more significant, though not necessarily romantic. What I find most intriguing about Nathan's character in this scenario is his potential awareness, or lack thereof, of how much Ty means to Amy and the sanctity of their bond. Is Nathan fully cognizant of the depth of Ty and Amy's connection? Or is he, perhaps in trying to help or confide, pushing boundaries without grasping the hurt it could inflict? This moment is critical because it's not just about the tension between Amy and Ty. Yes, it's also about Nathan's position and intentions. Is he aware that his presence and intense interaction with Amy might drive a wedge between the couple, even if that's not his aim? Or is he simply a friend caught in an unfortunate set of circumstances at the wrong time? There's a delicate balance between being supportive and becoming the catalyst for a major upheaval in someone's life, and Nathan might be treading that line right now. What occurs when that line is crossed? I suppose only time will reveal the truth. But if Nathan becomes the inadvertent reason Ty and Amy cannot mend their relationship, then that's a heavy burden to carry. So what are your thoughts? Is Nathan the one who will fundamentally disrupt Amy and Ty's relationship? Or is this just a temporary, albeit painful, setback for a couple who has weathered worse storms? One thing is certain, Ethan's part in all of this is far from concluded. The fallout, can Ty and Amy's love endure this? After that heart-stopping moment in the trailer, the major question that remains is, can Ty and Amy's love survive this apparent crisis? I mean, we've witnessed them overcome immense challenges, but this moment, Ty walking in on Amy and Nathan in a clearly charged and private exchange, it's a potential game changer. When you consider everything they've navigated, from the loss of loved ones to the ongoing trials of their personal lives, they've always found a way to emerge stronger. But is this the point where it all unravels? Could this be the ultimate test they cannot overcome? The reality of this situation is stark. The trust between Ty and Amy has been painstakingly built over years of love, mutual understanding, and shared battles. But the cornerstone of any relationship is trust. And once that trust is significantly shaken, it can be incredibly difficult to restore. Ty's pain in this moment isn't merely about jealousy or a simple misunderstanding of a lighthearted moment. It's about the foundation of what they've built being called into question by the gravity of what he's witnessing. When Tai walks in, it's as if his entire world fractures in an instant. He's no longer just contending with a minor disagreement or a trivial issue. He's facing something far more profound, a potential breach of the deep, unspoken understanding that underpins their marriage, which could alter everything. But Amy, she's not necessarily the antagonist here, is she? There's something incredibly multifaceted about her in this moment. We've observed her evolution throughout